This video is going to give you two different strategies that you can use on your times 6 facts. Let's take a look. Hopefully you already tried this number talk where you were counting the pips or the dots on the dice. And there are lots of ways to count how many pips there are, but one way that I see is that we have this nice group of 5 groups of 6 right here. And if I think of 5 groups of 6, I know that that's the same as 5 times 6. And that's a fact I already know because I know my 5s. So I know that 5 times 6 is 30. And if I didn't know it, I could count by 5 6 times. And then I just have one more group of 6 to add over here. So if I put this 30 plus this extra group of 6 together, I get 36. So my total is 36 pips. Another way that we could do it is if I sort of rearrange those dice, and they're different colors, but when you have 6 groups of something, you can sort of think about that like 3 groups of the thing and 3 more groups of the number, the factor. So if you know 3 groups of 6 is 18, or maybe you had to figure it out by doing 6 plus 6 is 12 and then plus another 6 to get 18. If you knew that all of this is 18, you could double it to find the times 6 fact. So you would do 18 plus 18 to get a total of 36. So either way you want to go, you could do 5 groups of the number and then add one more group. Or you could think of 3 times the number and then double it. Either one of those will work for the times 6 strategy. So let's try it out. Here I have 6 groups of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 8. And I'm going to start with something that I know. And for me, the easiest one is 5 groups of 8. So I'm going to get those 5 groups of 8. And I don't even need to try to add 8 plus 8 plus 8. Instead, I'm going to think about what is 5 groups of 8 or 5 times 8. I know that that's 40 because I have my 5s pretty much memorized. And then I'm going to add one more group of 8. So plus that extra 8, I'm going to get a product of 48 as my total. All right, so we might also look at it like an array. So if I'm seeing 6 groups of 7, I might want to start with 5 groups of 7. So here's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 7, and I already know that that's 35. So in order to get 6 rows of 7, I would just add one more group. So there's that one more group of 7, and I'm going to get that by adding this 35 plus 7, and when I do that, I get a 42. So this is 42 altogether. I could use that thinking about 3 groups of 7 and then doubling it if I wanted to on this one. So 3 times 7 is a fact that I know. So that's kind of like thinking about half of this array. So these red blocks are 3 times 7. 3 groups of 7 is 21. And then if I want to double that and add in this same set of blue squares down there, I could just think about 21 plus 21 to get me 42. So this is the same array. I'm just thinking about it here like 5 groups plus 1 group, or thinking about it like 3 groups and doubling that. Whichever strategy you like better, you should definitely use that one. So let's try one more and see if we can do it mentally. So I see 6 groups of 9. Well, I know 5 groups of 9. That's easier for me to do. And maybe I don't have that memorized, but I could count by 5s because I really could think about the 9 times 5 fact that I know. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 9 times 5 is 45. And you might have to write it down. I'm going to write it down just so we know where we are. So we are at 45 with 5 groups of 9. And then I need one more group of 9. So plus 9. Now, you know what? Here's a little trick when I add 9s. I think about adding 10 and then taking away 1 because I added 1 too many. So I'm going to do that in my head. So 45 plus 10 would be 55, but I need to take 1 away, so I would be at 54. You could add the 5 plus the 9 and regroup into a 10 if you needed to, but however you want to do it, 5 groups plus 1 more group gave me the 54. All right, so now you know 2 different strategies for multiplying by 6. To me, the easier one is to find 5 groups of the number plus 1 more group of the number. But the other way you could do it is to think of 3 groups of the number and then double that to get 6 groups of the number.